Listen up. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in this podcast belong solely to the podcast participants, and not to any participant's employer, organization, committee, or other group or individual. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. You know, for fun. So lighten up and enjoy. Oh my. Episode 50.
Where's your hurrah?
There's no hurrah. I don't feel hurrah today. Because this will be the very last episode of the podcast, I predict. Episode 50, the final episode in which we talk about our wonderful, wonderful picture-perfect lives and list 33 from the 52 lists of happiness. List the people you want to spend more time with before the end of the year. Okay? Mm-hmm. Sounds good?
Yep.
Okay, great.
The Soft Serve Podcast.
Creamy, delicious ideas without the creepy truck.
Okay. That's it.
That's it?
It's over.
That's the end of the podcast?
It's the last time anyone's going to hear that intro.
Till the next time.
There's not going to be a next time. I don't believe.
Says you.
Yeah, you're going to have to continue this without me. So I'm throwing in the towel. Yeah?
Listen, folks, this is all his idea, not mine.
Well,
This declaration is all his.
I'm thinking about the 52 list for happiness.
Are you happy?
No, this isn't bringing me happiness anymore.
The lists aren't making you happy, or the podcast?
The podcasts, doing the podcast isn't making me happy anymore. So this is it. 50 is a good episode to end on.
That makes me sad.
We did not make it through the 52 lists for happiness. We only made it to 33. So let's enjoy it, shall we?
Says you.
So, I will say to people, if you're listening to this, do not bother to subscribe. You can unsubscribe from this podcast now. If you have downloaded it, you can delete previous downloads if you've listened to previous episodes. And I want you to actively tell your friends this is the last episode of the podcast. So no more telling a friend about the podcast. Make sense? Yes, thank you. Makes perfect sense. To quote Roger Waters, it all makes perfect sense. Okay? Don't leave us reviews. We don't need them anymore. And definitely, if you've left reviews, if you've authored reviews, feel free to remove them. We do not need your reviews anymore.
Do not.
Okay? We do not need your reviews.
I thought you said donut.
Yep. I did not say donut. I said do not. But I misspoke. Poor Sawtooth misspeaking. Okay? So no more subscribing. Unsubscribe. Don't download. Don't share with friends. It's over. right?
Says you.
Okay, it's over. Okay, no more episodes. There'll be no episode 51. I had grand visions of making it to episode 100.
Okay. We still
But
can.
nah, we can't. We can't.
It's only
Okay.
you.
So I think it's also fitting that this evening for our show beverages, you have nothing.
I have nothing.
No show beverage.
Nope.
And
Okay.
I am drinking Sierra Mist, 0 sugar.
It's disgusting.
I don't think so. Tastes delicious.
Ugh.
This stuff is engineered to be delicious. Just like fast food. This is basically liquid fast food, you know.
Well, I mean, the same company that owns that also owns Taco Bell.
Yeah. It's fucking delicious. So, it has 35 milligrams of sodium. I don't even know if that's a lot. Is it?
I have no idea.
Me either. But
I don't drink soda.
I don't typically drink it either, but it was in the fridge. So I'm going to drink it. And we're not drinking alcoholic beverages. Now, we've mentioned in the past few podcasts that we were trying to tone down the amount of beer we were drinking. I think I've successfully done that. We went from beer to hard seltzer, now to Sierra Mist. The transition is complete. So there will be no alcoholic beverages on the final Soft Serve podcast. It's a victory. This, I think, may even be the first sober Soft Serve podcast. With no imbibing at all of any kind of alcoholic beverage by either of us. So this will be our 1-day podcast sobriety chip. Do you have a chip?
Nope.
Only the one on your shoulder. Right?
Moving on.
Okay. So you won't take that chip off your shoulder and give it to me in celebration of our first alcohol-free, completely sober Soft Serve podcast?
This was not.
Sad, sad, sad. Well, I see the chip on your shoulder, and if you want to give it to me in honor of this monumental occurrence, feel free, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm here. I'm ready.
Okay.
You can even throw the chip at me, okay? All right. Anything you want to say in terms of introductions? You have the show notes.
Yeah.
Before we move on to the spectacular news and shout-out section.
Is that because you have a new bumper for it?
No, I have a new bumper for...
News and shout-outs. Oh, how we're
Incorrect.
entertaining
That's
ourselves.
right. I will be... That's a good point. Thank you. I will be debuting a new bumper this evening. I worked hard on it. And I think people will enjoy it. Unfortunately, it will be the only time they will hear it. So it's making its first and final appearance. But I'm quite proud of it. And I think you will...
I think we should move that up in the show notes.
No, it comes in the end. Comes at the end. Okay?
We can't be flexible here on the Soft Serve podcast.
Definitely not. I'm in charge and I'm not a flexible person, as we all know. I am inflexible, as some would say. Both literally, because of my arthritic, aged body, and, no, sorry, I got that backwards. Both literally because of my arthritic, aged body, and figuratively because of my inflexible mind. Yeah.
Like that we're going to quit.
Oh, that's not, there's no
That's
wiggle room
not
there.
flexible.
Nope. Final episode.
Hmm.
Okay. final. I feel relieved. I do like to quit things. I like to quit things. I like to start things and quit them.
I don't understand.
So quitting this brings me joy. Listen, what? There's nothing left to accomplish here.
Sure there is.
Tell me what there is.
52 lists.
Then what?
I don't know.
I'm committing podcast suicide.
I don't know why.
No, it's podcast suicide. There's no point. Okay, 52 lists, and then what?
I don't know.
Why slog through the next 22 lists? How many?
22.
21.
No, 20. No, 19.
19. That feels almost doable compared to 22, but 19 is still too many.
I don't understand.
So my point is, why slog through 19 more episodes? 19 more, some odd hours. And there's nothing after this. I realized we set ourselves up for failure with this book. With this 52 lists for happiness. We embarked on this.
I think we should find the 52 lists for tragedy.
I don't feel we're any happier. Maybe the 52 lists for tragedy would make us happier. Maybe this is an inverse thing. Maybe the person who wrote this book is some kind of fucking evil witch. I don't know. But my point is, this is podcast suicide.
I don't know why.
I explained. I just literally explained why.
I still don't understand.
I feel we're careening to an uncertain end.
Why not take that leap of faith?
I don't leap.
Okay.
Do I look like a kangaroo? The answer is no. I do not look like a kangaroo.
Maybe you do. Do you have a pouch?
Kangaroos are muscular.
Do you have a tail?
Kangaroos are muscular. They have
You have the same coloring as a kangaroo.
long tails. They don't have beards. They have
Hey.
pouches.
Maybe your beard can be a tail.
And they hop. I don't do any of those things. I don't have or do any of those things. I am not a kangaroo. Okay?
You might be.
I'm pretty certain I'm not a kangaroo.
All right.
Not a kangaroo. Okay?
Sure.
All right. Are we ready to do the final news and shout outs?
Do we get to hear the scream?
That'd be the last time. Okay? The final news and shout outs. Here we go. Whoops.
Yep.
That'll be the last mistake I make. Okay.
Till the next one.
There we are. That's the scream.
Like Edward Munch's The Scream?
The scream
The scream of happiness.
echoing across the podverse for the last time.
Is that the last burp? 'Cause
It
that
may
would
be.
blessed.
No, there may be more burps on this episode.
Maybe.
On this final episode.
Can I request that be the last one?
You can request whatever you want. I'm not compelled to comply. Okay. Now, I reported previously that I was off of Facebook. Then I think in episode 49 I reported that I was back on Facebook, but just creeping
Yeah, you're done creeping.
and not engaging. And I am sad to report that this week I'm fully back on Facebook.
You're fully immersed.
Yep. Sharing content, liking, commenting, posting things, reading other people's posts.
How does that make you feel?
Horrible. I feel like I failed. Now, what I did right this time is I didn't declare on Facebook that I was quitting Facebook. That's a rookie move.
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
That's only the 15th time
What?
that you declared that you stopped.
Yeah, but why? Because I have a problem, right?
We all have a problem.
I don't think we all have problems. I know people who aren't on Facebook at all.
I think it's easy to not ever be on Facebook than to be on Facebook and quit Facebook.
No, I know people who have been on Facebook and then quit and never came back.
Okay.
I do know those people. And I don't think I'm one of them.
Okay.
So I'm addicted. Totally addicted.
To love?
No, to Facebook. That's what we're talking about here. Facebook. So I'm back. You can find me on there. I imagine we'll be taking down the Soft Serve podcast page at some point. Because I told you I'm stopping the podcast.
This is a ridiculous conversation.
It's not ridiculous at all. It's what's happening. So once we do that, once we stop the podcast, we'll take down the Facebook page and you'll just have to find me under my other name, my real name.
Sawtooth, right?
Yep. So you can look for me there. And if you try to friend me, don't expect me to accept. Because I won't accept. I don't want any more friends. Okay? I'm full up on friends. No more friends. Okay? So don't friend me. Capiche? Okay. Back on Facebook. All right. This is your agenda item, the next one. So we're talking.
Agenda
Yeah,
item?
your dad is visiting us.
Yep.
My father-in-law. Why don't you talk about that?
He's here for Rosh Hashanah.
Mm-hmm. And what is Rosh Hashanah for the non-Jews listening to us?
New Year.
Uh-huh.
And he was supposed to leave today.
Okay.
And there was a crash at the airport.
Yeah, what kind of crash was there?
It was a B-177 or something.
A B?
It was a historic plane that was part of a traveling exhibit. And
does my voice sound any different?
No, it sounds the same.
I'm turning the big bottom on and off. Let's see if it sounds any different.
Anyways, he was supposed to leave today.
Okay.
And they delayed all the flights and tried to move his flight to Boston, which is like 2 hours away from here.
Yeah.
So he is now leaving tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I think it was a good visit.
Yeah.
Good to have him here another day.
Yep.
My microphone sounds echoey. Can you hear that?
Nope.
Maybe it's my fucking headphones. Maybe that's what it is. My bullshit headphones. Let me try these a little bit. Anyways, it was distracting me a little bit. So yeah, he's leaving. We're recording this on a Wednesday. That's why it's going to publish a day late.
Right.
He's leaving on a Thursday because a gigantic B-52 bomber crashed.
It wasn't a B-52.
Yes, it was.
It was a B-177.
Well then, you get a stomping Jen was right noise. And for this guy right here. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I was wrong. All right. Anything else you want to say about your dad's visit to the pod home?
No, it was quiet.
Yeah.
You have the rest of the stuff that we did later on, so.
Yeah, so he's been here for a few days, and we did a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, we're recording this on a Wednesday.
He's been here since Friday.
Yep, and that previous Friday, what did we do?
And we went out.
Why don't you tell people where we went and what we did?
We went out for Mr. E's birthday.
Really, since this is the last chance they're going to have to hear you on this podcast.
I'm not sure that that's true.
Why don't you go ahead and tell people what we did, please?
You can tell people what we did.
Go ahead.
We started at the Dirty Truth in Northampton,
Mm-hmm.
where you and I had some poutine.
Right.
before people got there.
Okay.
Then we had some beers.
Okay.
There were 7 of us.
Mm-hmm. How many beers did I have?
2?
Incorrect. 3.
Well, you were the drinker that evening.
Yeah, so I had 3 beers at that bar.
Mm-hmm.
This echo is driving me crazy. You don't hear it?
Nope.
Let me unplug my headphones and plug them back in. It's driving me bananas. Go ahead, keep talking.
So after...
I mean, talk through your yawn if you can manage to stay awake. Go ahead.
After we were there for a while,
Yeah.
some people left,
Okay.
and we went to a different bar called the Tunnel Bar, and we had some more drinks.
The Tunnel Bar.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I got a
And what city
Dessertini.
were we in?
Northampton. I already said that.
Oh, did you say it? Northampton, Massachusetts?
Yep.
Massachusetts?
So I got a dessertini.
Mm-hmm. What's in a dessertini?
This one was supposed to taste like... I can't remember the name of the candy bar. What's that yellow one? Butterfingers? It was supposed to be like a Butterfinger.
Oh, yeah. I like Butterfingers. Those are good.
Had a lot of chocolate in it. And that was the last drink I had all evening. You had 2 old fashions.
Yeah. It started with 1 old-fashioned, right before I got to 2. And that was too much. It was way too much after having had 3 beers at the other bar. Mm-hmm. And then, well, 2 old-fashions was just...
Too many?
Way too many. Way too many. Why don't you describe what happened at the Tunnel Bar after I had 2 old-fashions?
I don't know. Somehow we were talking about a fireman's crawl.
Yeah. What did we say about the
I don't know.
fireman's
You
crawl?
kept screaming, "Have you ever mounted anyone?
Mm-hmm.
You have to mount them."
It's true. You do have to mount people to do the fireman's crawl, especially if you're the one doing the dragging.
Mm-hmm. Fanny Smellsmore was there.
Mm-hmm.
And his drink levitated.
What does that mean, his drink levitated?
It somehow slid off the table into his lap.
Mm-hmm. And then what happened?
I don't know what else happened. What do you remember happening?
I was drunk. I don't remember much, to be honest with you.
You don't remember anything?
After the second old-fashioned, I remember almost nothing. So it's really up to you to tell this story.
Yeah, so there was only 5 of us at this point, and I was the soberest of them all. So we walked down the street, and we all made a pit stop at a brewery, but we decided we weren't going to stay there because it was dead.
Right.
There was like nobody in there at all.
At the brewery?
Oh, yeah.
It was abandoned.
But it wasn't
quiet.
an abandoned building brewery. So
No one was there.
they kept telling me that I was in charge. So I led them to pizza.
To pizza?
Mm-hmm. So there's this place in Northampton called Mimo's.
Okay.
And they have giant slices of pizza.
At Mimo's?
Mm-hmm. And Mr. E proceeded to order us all slices of pizza.
What kind of pizza did you get? Do you remember?
So he ended up getting mushroom pizza.
Yeah, I got mushroom too.
For me and you and him.
Oh, he
And-
ordered the pizza for me?
Yes. And then Fanny and Microphone
Mm-hmm.
each got pepperoni. But they ordered... so ridiculous. So they told Mr. E to order them pecorinos
Yeah.
because they were drunk. And
What's a pecorino?
right, exactly. So Mr. E goes up to the counter and he's like, "I want a pecorino." And the guy behind the counter just looked at him like, "What are you saying?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Pecorino." when in reality it was pepperoni. So the guy said pepperoni, and so Mr. E turned to them and said, "You guys wanted a pecorino," and they were like laughing hysterically and said, "No, we wanted the pepperoni." And then the place closed down, and people kept coming in trying to get pizza, but there was no more pizza.
Did you say the name of the place we went?
Mimo's.
Yeah, no, this place is known for its giant slices of pizza.
Like one slice of pizza is like 3 giant slices of pizza.
And I remember after having the 2 old fashions looking at it, thinking there's no way I can eat this thing.
I didn't want to take a bite.
But guess what?
I ate the whole thing.
I ate the whole thing, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
I remember sitting there, tipsy as all heck, thinking to myself, how am I going to eat this? And then all of a sudden,
disappeared.
I'm holding the crust in my hand.
Yeah.
And being like, I cannot eat this crust.
And
I
you
cannot
ate
eat
that.
this crust. And then guess what happened?
You ate the crust.
I ate the crust.
Yep. We
Just
all ate
like
the
that.
pizza. We all drank the Kool-Aid.
And then I believe the evening was over, wasn't it?
They went to another bar, but we felt bad because at
Oh,
this
did
point...
they go to another bar?
Yeah, but at this point it was like after midnight, and we felt bad.
What bar did they go to?
The green room.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I couldn't have drank anymore. Why don't you describe what happened on the way home in the
You
car?
were groaning that you were going to puke the whole way home.
I
And we
really-
had no gas in the car because you drove and you didn't mention that there was no gas in the car.
Oh, how did we get home if there was no gas?
Well, there was enough, I guess, to get home.
Yeah.
And for me to go out over the weekend and get more gas in the car.
So we had a low amount of gas in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Enough where the low fuel light was on and it wouldn't tell us anymore how many miles we had left to go, which was very distressing.
So many miles left to go.
Mm-hmm. And that was Friday night. It was fun. We had a good time.
Okay.
Do you have anything else you want to add about Friday night?
No, just that it was Mr. E's birthday. What did we get him for presents?
You tell the people.
We got him, what are those things called? Funko Pop dolls?
Pop Funko dolls.
We got him a fat Thor.
What's a fat Thor?
Everybody who is alive and listening to this knows what a fat Thor is.
Maybe people don't know what fat Thor is.
So I want to tell you, if you're listening to this podcast and you have not seen Avengers Endgame, I don't want you to listen to our last podcast ever. Turn it off right now. Because if you don't know what Avengers Endgame is and you don't know what Fat Thor is, I don't like you, probably.
That's not nice.
And I don't want you to listen to this.
That's sad.
I know. Okay?
That's pretty insulting to people.
Hey, it's the last podcast. I'm going to tell people how it is. Okay?
Oh,
So
boy, we're going to just keep going.
if you don't know Fat Thor, okay?
Sad.
Why is it sad?
Sad face emoji.
But why is it sad?
That you're perpetuating this.
I'm just setting expectations. I'm not perpetuating anything.
All right, what else did we get him? We got him a fat Thor.
And a Stan Lee.
Who's Stan Lee?
Stan Lee is, I revert to my previous statement about Endgame, and if you don't know who Fat Thor is, if you don't know who Stan Lee is, just shut this off right now. Okay? Do not finish listening to it.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
And after you shut it off, go to
directly
your...
to the internet.
Nope. Go to your bedroom,
Shut the door and cry.
or your bathroom, or your car, or your shed,
No.
and
No.
kindly and slowly, because I want you to enjoy it, fuck yourself. Okay?
Not cool.
You should know who Stan Lee is.
Oh, boy.
Okay?
Insulting.
People should know who Stan Lee is.
Just because people should know who Stan Lee is Doesn't mean that the people who don't know who Stanley is should be held at fault.
Find me one person who doesn't know who Stanley is. One person.
Asbury, do you know who Stanley is?
Okay, dogs don't count.
She's moving her paws.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Stanley. We all know who Stanley is. If you don't know who Stanley is, I have nothing for you. And we'll ask Asbury again. Do you know who Stanley is?
Can she hear that?
That's a yes, I think.
Her
What?
eyes are wide.
What's that? What do you... What? Okay, Asbury, calm down. What do you think of people who don't know who Stanley is? Right. She does not like them. Do you hear that?
I can barely hear it. Jeez.
Okay, Asbury, calm down. Okay, yeah, I already told them to go fuck themselves. Right. Yes, they're assholes, we know. I don't... No. I'm sorry, Asbury, I don't have a assholes who don't know who Stanley are bumper. I will make one for the next episode.
Oh, the next episode?
I may do just one episode
Just on Stanley.
to critique assholes who don't know who Stanley are. Right. You know, I realize I've never farted into the microphone.
Don't do it now.
It's the last episode.
It's not. You just...
No, I think I have to. Hold on.
Please don't.
I know, I have to. I've
No.
never done it.
Can you not?
Hold on.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting. It's really gross.
Yep. It's terrible. I've always wanted to do that. Listen, I'm a big fan of Howard Stern, who I don't listen to anymore. And I haven't for over a year, but I just figured on my last podcast ever I would do that. Okay. Mm-hmm. There's no coming back from that, right?
I have no words.
Yeah, I know. Okay. No words. You're light on words this evening.
What else?
Okay, I think we're going to clock in at less than an hour, and that's fine by me.
What else?
I think that's all I want to say about
Mystery.
Mystery's birthday night.
You don't have anything else you want to say?
About his birthday night?
Yeah.
I don't remember anything else.
What about the parts you do remember?
I've said everything that I wanted to. What else is there to talk about?
I don't know. All right, you talk about the next thing then.
What?
Rosh Hashanah.
What about it?
You wrote the show notes.
You are the resident Jewish person among us.
Okay,
I thought
so
you
you're
would.
the
Why don't you explain?
non-Jew.
Okay.
You can give us your perspective from a non-Jew perspective.
All right. First of all, for all you Christians out there, you can go fuck yourselves because it's not 2019. Rosh Hashanah tells us that it is 5780. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That means the year 5780.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And despite over history, all of you motherfuckers trying to get rid of the Jewish people, guess who's still here in 5780?
The Jews.
The Jews.
Ta-da.
So, you can take your 2019 and your year of the Lord, and you can cram it straight up your asses. It's 5780, and that's what we celebrate Rosh Hashanah for. It's the Jewish New Year.
Mm-hmm.
It's 5780. 2019 can get down on its knees. Okay?
What year is it in the Chinese calendar, I wonder?
Oh my God, it's gonna be 10,000 something, right?
I don't know. Anyways.
No, those are some people to be respected. I could Google it. Hold on. Let's ask Siri. Hey Siri,
Siri doesn't ever give us any information.
what year is it in the Chinese calendar?
Okay, I found this on the web for what year is it in the Chinese calendar. Check it out.
Why doesn't this fucking asshole
Why doesn't
just
it
tell
just
us?
tell us?
Alexa would fucking tell
Wait,
us.
I want to tell you a story about Alexa.
Okay, hold on. Fucking Siri can suck my goddamn toe. Hold on. It doesn't count years in a sequence.
It's like a 12-year cycle or something.
I don't know what it does.
Or 7-year. No, there's 12 zodiac years.
Yeah, but it
Like
doesn't
we're in the year of the pig right
count
now, right?
years like we do.
It's a lunar calendar, just like the Jewish calendar.
Oh my God. I have no idea. It doesn't
All right,
tell
it's
us.
fine. Let's move on. Where is the cat that I'm hearing him
He's
cry?
outside of the door and he wants to get into the studio.
Oh, poor baby. So I made lots of food for Rosh Hashanah.
Okay, so
I made brisket and matzo ball soup and potato kugel.
What I'm-
and sweet potato kugel.
what I'm
and roasted
hold on.
cauliflower
To the best I
And
can tell.
challah.
Hold on.
and an apple tart.
The best I can tell, it's 4716.
What?
So what it's saying?
That can't be true.
Okay, but the Jews have got the Chinese.
Okay.
Okay, so sorry, Chinese. You didn't pull it off. Okay, so anyways.
Do you want to talk about the delicious food, I mean?
Yeah, right after we finish explaining to people that on Rosh Hashanah we celebrate the Jews being around for
No.
almost 6,000 years.
No, we celebrate the Jewish New Year.
And the measly Christians only being around for less than half of that.
Jesus was Jewish. Sawtooth.
Yes, Jesus was Jewish, and we should reinforce that at every step of the way. This is for Jesus being Jewish. Okay. So go on. Tell us more, please.
I rattled off the entire menu. What did you think of the food?
What was the menu again? I should have started this at the beginning of the segment. What was the menu?
Brisket, which you made.
It was dry. It was terrible. What did you think of the brisket?
I needed onions.
Why did it need
I
onions?
don't know.
I disagree.
Well, why do you think it was dry? We put it in the crock pot.
It felt dry to me.
But I mean,
It was stringy and dry. I screwed something up.
trying to troubleshoot why it was dry.
I put that rub on it from Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Coffee and
Garlic. And
garlic rub.
You think that's it?
I think so.
All right.
It was dried out. You made matzo ball soup.
I made matzo ball soup.
That was good.
It was delicious.
Now, the real
Tragedy.
triumph was not cooking a whole turkey
Oh, that was the second night.
on the second night, but cooking 2 turkey breasts. That was triumphant. They were delicious. They were juicy. It was the right move not to cook a whole turkey.
Whole turkeys are expensive.
Yeah, we were only,
5 people.
5 people. That would have been a waste of a turkey.
Yeah. So, anyways, it was fun. The children improvised a delicious honey cake that we decided to turn into muffins instead of cake. They were delicious.
Yeah. Did you mention you made a kugel?
A kugel. I made 2 kugels. I didn't just make one.
Yeah, you made like a potato kugel and a sweet potato poodle.
It was delicious.
Yes, it was.
And an apple tart.
Yeah, and you also made What was that shit? Squash and cranberries.
That was with
good.
the turkey.
Yeah, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
So good meals. Good meals. Good team effort on the meals. I have to say.
Yep.
I
The only tragedy that we had was the soup, which I made lots and lots of soup.
Oh, yeah. So here's the deal. When the soup gets cooked or heated up, right?
It's very hot.
It's very, very, very hot, boiling. And you can't take that soup once you place it in its storage container once it's so hot. Okay. Stopping Jen's
It's
yawning.
fine. Just keep talking.
She's engaged, fully engaged. You can't take that hot soup and just stick it right in the fridge because it'll fuck your refrigerator. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It'll make everything else in there not cold, and it will blow out your fridge motor. Okay. So what do we do? What do I do? I cool it down in the sink by using a heat sink method. I drop it into a thing of water, and I change the water a couple times. Now, the second night of Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, 5780, I want to remind people, the Christian calendar is only a 2019. Okay? Just remember that, people. Okay? 2019 compared to 5780.
Right. So the first 2 nights we had full-on soup.
Yeah. So the first night I successfully cooled the soup down using my method of putting a storage container into some water and letting it cool down. The second night I forgot to remove the soup from its cooling bath and put it in the fridge. It sat out all night long.
Right. So this was the night we were going to have all the leftovers from the previous 2 meals.
So we had to throw the soup away.
There was no soup.
No soup for you.
And it was delicious soup.
No soup for me. No soup for father-in-law.
Space Unicorn was sad.
No soup for Space Unicorn. No soup for Ted. No soup for the pod dog. No soup for Dagger, Podcat 1. No soup for Sullivan, Podcat 2.
Are we going to go through all the cats?
No soup for Ichabod, Podcat 3. No soup for the ants.
What?
No soup for the roaches. No soup for the rats.
Yeah, there's soup, lots of soup for the rats and the ants.
No soup for the mice.
Because now it's in the garbage can.
No soup for the flies.
All right, enough.
No soup for the mold living in the fridge.
Are you done?
No soup for the toilet after I throw up because I ate too much.
Oh, boy.
No soup for my stomach. No soup for my intestines.
All right, enough.
No soup for my large colon to turn into feces.
All right, enough.
I think that's it.
Great.
Is there anybody else we would have given soup to?
Nope.
Anything else that might have happened with the soup?
Nope.
No leftover soup to freeze for a later date. Okay. I think that's it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. That was it. Oh, and then on the second day of Rosh Hashanah, we went on a hike. Why don't you tell people about that hike?
God, you tell people about the hike.
Oh boy, I'm gonna have to do the music again to do
not
the
really.
story of the hike. So,
This is an annual hike.
so instead of on the second day of Rosh Hashanah piling into the synagogue and sitting there for hours and hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Listening to whatever happens there. Our synagogue in Amherst does this, what they call mountaintop service. And that is when anybody who wants to hikes up a mountain, and then they do a little service up at the top, and after they're done with the service, people eat food.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice. It's a nice way to be outside and do something, and the weather was good. What else do we want to say about it?
A shofar blowing.
Lucky chauffeurs.
Shofar.
Lucky shofars getting blown. Multiple times. Repeatedly.
Do you want to explain to the non-Jewish people what a shofar is?
Chauffeurs are the people who drove us to the mountain.
No, that's a chauffeur.
And they were all blown. No, a shofar is a fucking ram horn, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what they do is we walk up the mountain with a bunch of rams on ropes.
No.
You told me to tell the story. We walk up the mountain with a bunch of rams on ropes. And when we get to the top of the mountain, the rabbi pulls out his sword and he slices the rams' throats.
If only that were true.
And once they bleed to death, they cut the horns of the rams off of their heads.
This is not what happens, people.
And then they turn the horns into little trumpets. And people blow the ram horn trumpets. Do you want to tell us what the... Did I get that right?
No, you got that wrong.
Okay, they're just fucking ram horns
They're
that...
ram horns that you can blow into and they make sounds.
Yeah, I don't have a shofar sound effect.
And you didn't take any sound voice.
No, I missed it all.
I missed it all.
Sorry.
So Ted, who plays the trombone, was excellent at the shofar blowing.
Oh, you know what? I could probably play one here. Keep talking.
He did an excellent job.
I can't fucking spell shofar.
It's Shofar.
A-R.
Shofar.
All right, let's see if this plays. Go ahead. Here we go. Let's see what this does.
I hear nothing.
I don't know why.
Is your phone plugged in? When you played the Siri, we could hear the Siri.
Yeah, it's trying to make me take some kind of survey. I don't know what's going on.
Why would you need to take a survey?
I don't know. It's fucking YouTube. Trying to make money. Here we go. That's a shofar.
That's a shofar? What is that water sound?
I don't know. These are shofars. These are people blowing ram horns.
Find a different video. It's not...
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
maybe, but I've never heard a shofar blowing like that.
Okay.
That's more...
You see? Does that sound right?
Yeah, play Rosh Hashanah shofar. That's like... It's like a bugle.
Well, no, he's blowing a horn.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I got.
Type in the thing I told you to.
Great. Another thing I don't know how to spell.
Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah.
You wrote it. It's on your paper right in front of you.
Rosh.
You know what Rosh means?
No.
Head.
Hush.
It's head of the year.
It's too fucking hot in here.
It's not hot in here.
Okay. Rosh Hashanah shofar. Let's see if this works.
By the way, it is October 2nd and the air conditioning is on. That's the same fucking
it says
bullshit.
fucking Rosh Hashanah shofar. That's what you told me to play. Just because these people know how to actually blow the fucking horn doesn't mean it's wrong.
Let me see your phone.
Well, don't unplug it. Okay. Good. All right. Give me my phone back because I need it in a minute.
You don't need your phone.
I am going to be playing something. Give it to me.
Oh, you're going to be playing something?
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I didn't think you were interested in producing the last episode, but
Well, it's not the
apparently you
last
are.
episode. Thank
Okay.
God.
I think I'm the one who decides that.
You're the decider.
When it comes to this podcast, I am. Okay. All right. That's it. That's all we had to talk about in terms of news and shout outs. Should I play the bumper one last time?
No.
Here we go. That was it for news.
I don't know why you're playing it again.
Just so people can hear it one last time.
You're ridiculous.
Okay? There you go, folks. Now, we're getting closer and closer to the new bumper. We have one more segment, which is the actual list, and then we will listen to the new bumper. Okay?
Yep.
We're going to do the lists now.
Oh, let's listen to the list bumper. You know how I know this is not the last one?
It absolutely is the last one.
Because you love your bumpers. You wouldn't abandon them.
Oh. Think of all the other things I've abandoned.
Your children.
Oh, let me find the laugh button for that.
You're in the middle of a bumper.
Okay?
Check. Mate.
So, I'll just remind you, I've abandoned my webcomic. I've abandoned my writing. I've abandoned... What the fuck else was I doing? Stand-up comedy. I abandoned multiple puppies. The ones that I put in garbage bags and threw on the side of the Mass Pike.
It's never happened, people.
I mean, you said children before. I
I
did.
was joking.
Well, I did serve in the army overseas.
All right. Let's move on.
I'd probably get some seeds bopping around.
I'm interested in your list
Oh, are you?
that you didn't write in your book.
Yeah, but I have it in my head. And I told you I thought about it.
Oh, okay.
So it's list number 33.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
List the people you want to spend more time with before the end of the year. You're going to go first.
Oh, I'm going to go first?
Yep.
So,
Who are the people you want to spend more time with?
because we're not naming names,
Well, I think you can name relationships.
the end of the year is coming soon.
Okay.
So, I like to spend it with friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
Maynard, James Keenan.
Maynard James Keenan.
Mm-hmm.
That egotistical bald douchebag who is the lead singer of Tool.
Mm-hmm.
Whose music is great, by the way.
How come you explained who Maynard was, but you wouldn't explain who Stan Lee was, by the way?
Because everybody knows who Stan Lee is. And not everybody knows who the egotistical bald douchebag Maynard James Keenan is.
I don't think that is true. But
Mhm.
okay. Myself.
And what does that look like, spending time with yourself?
I don't know. That's what I wrote down.
Oh, I'm asking you to think about it now.
Just like self-care.
But what does that mean to you?
I don't know.
Okay. Oh, I'm not going to take I don't know for an answer. I'm deliberately pressing you to give us examples of what you mean by spending time with yourself.
Going to the gym.
Okay.
Reading a book.
Mm-hmm.
Having a cup of coffee and a cookie.
Okay.
That's it.
What about masturbation?
No.
That's sad.
That's not what I was inferring.
Everybody should masturbate.
I just want to point out that this little action box that we sometimes refer to in the
Who are
list
those
book,
ones who saying I touch myself? Who are those
the
people?
vinyls.
Yeah, they had a whole song about it.
Oh, I think it was just a girl.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Mm-hmm. Lucinda Williams wrote a song about it.
Cyndi Lauper wrote a song.
Right
about
in
it.
Time, Cyndi Lauper. I actually wrote a song about masturbation. Would you like to hear it?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
So the action here at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
It is so much easier to experience happiness with the help of a friend. Plan one way you will spend time with a friend this week. Try to keep planning a friend hangout time once a week for the rest of the year and think of it as your weekly happiness investment. So I just wanted to point out to you that we talk about this sometimes, but we refer to it as watering the garden.
Yeah. Okay.
So some of the ways in which you can spend time with friends is you can go out for coffee, you can go out for lunch, brunch, drinks, dinner, movie, art experiences,
Yeah.
go for a walk, exercise together.
Okay.
That's all I have. What do you have on your list that you are now writing feverishly because you didn't put it down?
No, this is all the things I thought about earlier.
All the things I thought about earlier.
I noticed I wasn't on your list. Thank you.
I did. You're my family.
You lumped me in with everybody else. I'm not special. I can
You're the
see
most specialist.
that. Uh-huh.
Okay.
All right. I have number 1 on my list. You.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't get to spend enough time with you.
Mm-hmm.
So, number 1.
But yet you want to quit the podcast.
Number
that we do
2.
together.
This isn't real.
What do you mean it's not real?
This is an act. This isn't really
It's
us.
not an act to sit down and spend an
Most
hour
people
together.
think this is an act, so it's an act.
It's really not an act.
Yeah, they think it's an act.
I don't know who those people are. They don't know us very well.
Well, it's an act, people. This isn't really me.
Who are you?
If you've ever
Somebody else?
if anybody who listens to this has ever really met me, I stand there like a fucking lump and I don't say anything.
Talking about?
I don't talk in real life, so this
You
must
do
be an
talk
act.
in real
No,
person.
this is an act. Okay, so you, let's see, my sister, my brother, your sister, your brother, their spouses, my nieces, my nephew,
What about your cousin?
my cousin. She's my sister.
Mm-hmm. Did you say your brother?
I did say my brother, yep. And I count my second cousins, my first cousin's kids as my nieces and nephews.
You don't have any more nephews. You only
know
have
what
one nephew.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Let's see, my video game friends who are mad at me because I've missed too many sessions.
Put it on your calendar.
Yeah, not myself.
Not yourself?
Do not want to spend time with myself.
Why not?
I don't want to get into it. I'm not good company.
Okay. When I met you, you like love to go out to dinner and movies with yourself.
I was interesting back then.
You were interesting?
Mm-hmm. I was engaging.
What?
Was handsome.
Oh my God.
The ravages of time had not yet descended upon me.
Okay.
I could hold a conversation. I was funny. I was romantic. All of those things you'd want to go out with yourself for.
Go ahead.
And I would end the night with a fantastic sexual session with myself.
Great.
It was the life.
Hmm.
I was great company back then. But now, time has done something to me. Time has changed me, I feel. Time has diminished me in some kind of way. I feel... What? I feel somehow stuck in a loop. Like I'm a piece of digital code playing over and over and over and over again. Uncertain what function I'm filling towards the larger operating system of life. I'm like that fucking colorful spinny wheel of death on an Apple computer. Except it's not colorful. It's black and white. And I sit there and I spin and spin on the computer screen of life, frustrating all those around me. They're like, stop spinning, you asshole. Do something. And then they pick up my screen and they throw it against the wall. And it cracks. And they walk over to it. The screen flickers, the spinning wheel, the black and white spinning wheel of death, begins to pixelate and sputter in and out. Then the foot comes down,
It's like a cybersonic
cracking the screen.
bedtime story.
And then darkness. Darkness.
All right. What else do you have on
Okay.
your list?
You got it? You got the picture?
Yep.
Okay, good. Glad I could be of help. Okay, I hope I made that clear.
What else do you have on your list?
Nobody else. That's it.
That's it.
Yep, nobody else. That's it. That's my list.
Not Taylor Swift.
No. Nobody else.
What about
And I'm gonna play I heard a song this week that touched me in a way.
it touched you in a way?
Yeah.
In what
Touched
way?
me in a way.
In what way did it touch you?
We have to play the new bumper before I go into that. Okay. I'm gonna debut the new bumper. Are we ready?
So we're out of the list. Let's just
All right, we're done with the list.
put a line in the
All
sand.
right, we're done with the list. This is it. This is the last list bumper. Okay? There it goes.
Do you always
Okay.
play it at the end too?
Yeah, I do, to close it out. Okay? That was list number 33. The final list from the 52
Totally get
lists
the
for
52
happiness.
list.
Okay?
What's next week's list?
Don't even bother, because we're not doing it.
List the foods that taste great and make you feel good about yourself when you eat them.
Oh, no.
Everything.
Nothing, because I don't feel good when I eat food.
Really?
I feel horrible.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's not true.
No, it is true. I feel shame when I eat food.
That's,
Ask my therapist.
Were you talking about that?
Not today, but I've talked about it before. Yeah. I'm a real catch, aren't I?
Stop.
Yep. A real catch. It's okay. This is all an act, folks, anyways. It's all an act. I don't really feel shame when I eat food, okay? Great. Glad we could have that talk. All right. Are we ready for the new bumper I created?
Oh, I'm waiting.
Okay. This is the How Are We Entertaining Ourselves bumper. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Is there screaming in it?
Now I want you to think of a sort. Now I want you to think
Yeah, it's
about
gonna say
entertainment.
yes.
Are you ready?
Yeah, it's gonna have the gladiator thing.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
You started it.
You don't seem ready.
I'm waiting. With
Okay. Here
bated
it comes.
breath.
Recorded in front of a live studio audience.
What the?
I fight against the lesser man within, for he's a coward. He's a coward. He's a coward.
Do you know what that was?
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Lots of Star
Put your
Wars.
hands above your head. We have the place surrounded.
Nobody move. Nobody gets hurt. See?
This is very long.
There you go.
I don't think a bumper should be as long as or longer than the show itself.
Well, I wanted to play it one through all the way. So there we go. That's How Are We Entertaining Ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mix of various forms of entertainment.
I got that.
You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Okay, this is it. It's a little bittersweet, the last section of the podcast, of the final podcast.
It's ridiculous.
Why don't you lead us off on this first item here? It's like you don't want to participate. You're looking at the ceiling and rolling your eyes.
I do. I just don't know why you keep making me talk first.
You're a co-host.
We've been watching Star Trek Discovery, which we've mentioned previously that we wanted to watch with the kids.
Okay. How's that going?
We're on episode 7.
Mm-hmm.
We started on Monday.
Yep.
No, that can't be right. Sunday.
Yeah. I like it. It's really good.
Yeah.
I think it is a worthy successor.
But I don't understand where it falls in line with the
Oh my
timeline.
God. It's before it's
Next
after
Generation, right?
yes. It's after Enterprise.
Yeah.
Okay, which is the very first one.
Right.
Did you see they showed that list and Captain Archer was
Yeah.
on it?
I don't
He's from
think
Enterprise.
Wait, but what's his face wasn't on there?
Kirk?
Yeah.
Right, because he's not on the Enterprise yet. Do you remember they showed Captain Pike?
I don't know who that is.
He is the current captain of the Enterprise, the one before Picard. I mean, before Shatner.
I don't understand.
Before Kirk. Whatever the fuck that guy's name
Wait,
is.
the original Star Trek.
I think, okay. Don't think about the ship names, the shows.
Okay. There's the first one, Star Trek.
No, let's go in chronological order, the timeline. Okay? In time.
Okay.
Are you following me?
Uh-huh.
Okay, in time.
Yeah.
The first show, meaning in the timeline of the universe,
Okay.
is Enterprise.
What is Enterprise?
That was on in 1999. It has Captain Archer.
Did we watch this?
Yes.
We did?
Yes, it is the very first. it chronicles the first contact of
The Starfleet.
no, humans with the Vulcans.
Okay. So there's Enterprise.
Right. So Enterprise.
Who was Bakula?
Captain Archer.
Oh my God.
Okay. Then
Yeah.
comes this show, Discovery.
Discovery is before the original Star Trek?
Yes. And it's happening yes, it does.
It's like in tandem?
No, slightly before.
Okay.
Then comes Star Trek with
From the
Kirk.
70s.
With Kirk, right. Okay.
Yeah.
In Discovery, Spock is still a young man and he's in Starfleet Academy, basically.
Okay.
He's not yet on the Enterprise. Okay, after Star Trek comes Next Generation.
Right.
That's set like a couple hundred years after, I think.
Picard.
Right.
Okay.
Then Deep Space Nine is happening around the same time as that.
Really?
Yes.
Which one is the
Voyager.
Janeway?
Voyager is also happening. It happens slightly after Next Generation in the timeline.
Okay.
I think Picard is like some kind of admiral or something at that point. He's not commanding a ship. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's what we're watching.
Is that all the series?
Yeah.
And then there's going to be Picard, which is why we got CBS.
Right. Now, Picard happens before Discovery.
No.
Yeah. It's a time travel show.
You're lying.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Discovery. Now, we started watching this other show, which is really disturbing. We've only seen 2 episodes. It's called Euphoria. And it's on HBO. And it's basically, it stars Zendaya.
Who is also Spider-Man's girlfriend.
Right. It stars Zamboni, who is...
Zendaya.
Zamboni, who is... Zamboni. Zendaya, who is Spider-Girl's boyfriend. Something like that. And it's basically a commentary on teen texting, sex, and drug culture.
Yeah.
It's very disturbing. It makes me not want to let our children out of the house. But it's very well done and very well acted.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how much of it is real.
I know. That's what I'm struggling with.
I mean, it seems incredibly dramatized.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. And exaggerated.
But it might be real.
Might totally
even
be real.
scarier.
Well, kids overdose. Kids have sex. Kids meet up in hotel rooms for hookups. Like, that happens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the kind of thing that I think might be exaggerated are like the scale of the house parties they showed.
That
right
was crazy.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. And then it gets there's some stuff in it that I suspect is just done for entertainment purposes, but I think it's meant to be a critique or commentary on teen sex, drug, texting culture. Okay.
I actually had a really interesting conversation about it this morning.
With who?
My therapist.
Oh, what did they say?
Oh, just because, like, one of the things, and it's not really a spoiler alert because it happens in the first episode, but like the main character, Zendaya, like when she's like 8, she is taken to a therapist's office or a doctor, and the doctor's like, oh, she could be ADD or OCD or bipolar. We're not sure. So let's just give her a whole bunch of drugs.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that lends to furthering or enabling an ease with which she takes pills in the future.
Yeah, probably.
Teenage.
Yeah.
And, it brings up the idea of like, are we over medicating our children?
The answer
Not
to
our children specifically, but just
we know the answer to that question. It's yes.
Yeah, so it's just that was really scary.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're still watching Hulu's Wu-Tang Clan. We missed it tonight because we're doing this instead for the last time.
God.
Now,
I saw Hustler. You didn't see Hustler.
yeah, did you like Hustler?
Yeah, it was interesting.
Okay. Do you recommend it?
Yeah, that's about
The porno mag?
no, it's not about the porno mag at all, actually.
Oh.
It's about
Larry Flint?
No, it's actually about
The strip club in New York?
it's actually about the affluent Wall Street mentality intersecting with stripper clubs.
Oh, that sounds
And
interesting.
there was an article in the New York Times written that the whole movie is based on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. I feel like I want to go see it now.
Yeah, you probably would like it, actually.
Okay.
And about how when the bubble burst in 2008,
Yeah.
that these strip clubs with all of these Wall Street gurus who came in and dropped tons of money, like stopped going to strip clubs. And so the strippers had to change their business model, and the strip clubs had to change their business model. And it's a story about this.
Okay.
This stripper group of women. So
It's not what I thought it was about at all.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting to me.
Yeah. So we'll watch it when it comes out on video.
Okay.
I mean, when it comes out on video, when it becomes available streaming.
Yeah. I just wanted to mention, I started reading The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins, one of the leading atheist thought leaders. I think I've mentioned before here, I'm an atheist. I'm enjoying reading that. And you started reading a book called Fall or Dodge in Hell by Neal Stephenson.
I think we've mentioned before. I've now maybe 30, 40 pages in. It's a very large book. I doubt I'll finish it before it has to be renewed again.
And it's about a guy who uploads his consciousness into a computer.
Yeah, I haven't even gotten that far.
Yeah. All right. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's just I refer back to wanting to spend time with myself and spend some time reading.
All right, so you're going to quit reading it, you think, at some point?
Well, no, it's just it only has one renewal, and I already did the one renewal, and it's like 1,000-page book.
Yeah. All right.
You skipped over your...
I'm saving it for last because I want to go out on this. It's appropriate for the final episode of the podcast, episode 50.
Just episode 50, people.
So...
yeah, we discovered this on a lark. How did we discover it?
I was just browsing through new music on Apple, and I discovered a new album by one of my favorite artists.
Which we've talked about.
Sturgill.
Previously.
Yeah, when
Chanel
the poet,
and
when the
Josh.
poet Joshua Michael Stewart was on our podcast with the writer Chanel. We talked about and played some Sturgill Simpson.
Yes.
Who is an artist who kind of has evolved from a traditional country singer.
Was he ever traditional?
Yeah, like his first album was what you might call traditional country, kind of, right? Or alt country.
Yeah.
To kind of a and I hesitate to use labels because he doesn't like people using labels to describe his music, but his music is always changing. And he released a new album earlier in the week that has just blown my mind.
Yeah, you've listened to it quite a lot.
Yeah. It's called Sound and Fury, right? And it has this song on there that...
Oh, you have a second page.
That really touched me.
You have the full lyrics here.
Yeah, because it really has resonated with me. The song is called Make Art, Not Friends. It's basically about, and it was such, it's so funny that it coincided with this list for our final episode, which was list the people you want to spend more time with. Like
This is like the antithesis of that.
Like I have a antithesis of what?
Of making friends.
That's exactly
going
it.
out with friends.
Right, that's exactly it. That's why this resonated.
This was a soundtrack to something.
So there's a multi there's an anime feature that goes along with this album.
When are we going to watch that?
It's on Netflix right now.
Oh.
Right? So it's called Sound and Fury by Sturgill Simpson. There's a Netflix show. You should watch it.
Have
A
you
movie.
seen it?
No, we should watch it. And then there's the album. But I want to play pieces of this song because it really spoke to me about staying at home and just doing creative things and not having anything to do with people, which I've decided is what I want.
What?
I don't want any new friends. I want 0 new friends.
It's sad.
I know. This song made me realize it's the right instinct.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So, no friends for me. I have everything I need in my brain. The existing friends I have are grandfathered in. Okay? If they weren't already there, I would dump them and get rid of them and have 0 friends. Okay? But so no new friends. And this song has now reinforced it for me. So without further ado, okay, I'm going to play some of this. Okay? And we do have to stop and talk about it here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we won't get sued for playing this. It's an amazing song. Now that
Or you
whole
just
but
stopped it. That was
whole
super
thing, but
abrupt.
I want to analyze it for a second. That whole bit is about kind of looking outside yourself, looking out the world and seeing all of the repeating cycles that are meaningless. Okay? Remember I was talking about that earlier? Okay, here we go. Here's the rest. And this is another thing. Everybody seems to have a fucking idea about what I should be doing.
Who's doing?
And Sturgill Simpson says here, love how everybody knows what's best, but nobody knows their place. Basically, fuck off and leave me alone. Behind you before any more come in. That's what I'm doing. I'm shutting the door. No more coming in. Gonna make art, not friends.
How can you make art without?
I'm gonna be like fucking Salinger. I'm just gonna sit here alone in front of this microphone and record my thoughts. I'm gonna do podcasts alone.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna publish them. That's it.
Sad world.
Yeah, I know. I'm a sad man. That's it. That's it. We almost
Old
made
man
it.
and the sea.
We almost made it. An hour and 30 minutes for our last episode.
It's an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, anything, I know. It feels like 5 hours. Anything more you want to say?
Is that the cat?
That's the cat trying to get in before I play us out.
Poor baby.
No, don't feel sad for me. Oh, you meant the cat. Sorry. Okay? Remember, make art. You want to say goodbye? This is it.
Bye now.
Okay.
We'll see you next week.
No, we won't. And what I want to say to folks, remember, make art, not friends.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. America knows that this world of ours, ever growing smaller, must avoid becoming a community of dreadful fear and hate. Those who have freedom will understand also its heavy responsibility. That all who are insensitive to the needs of others will learn charity, and that the sources, scourges of poverty, disease, and ignorance will be made disappear from the earth. and that in the goodness of time, all peoples will come to live together in a peace guaranteed